Today marks the 22nd year since the September 11th terrorist attacks in New York City and across our country. Today's memorials across the United States and in our area are honoring the nearly 3,000 Americans that were killed in those attacks back in 2001. The National September 11th Memorial and Museum is leading the nation and world in marking the day. The ceremony took place on the Memorial Plaza and focused on an in-person reading of the names by family members. There were 6 moments of silence to acknowledge when each of the World Trade Center towers were struck and fell in the times of the attack on the Pentagon and the crash of Flight 93. Survivors and families of victims are gathering across the country to honor loved ones as the nation's dignitaries offer words of comfort. NBC's Alice Barr is in Washington.
Today, as the nation pauses to remember
Jeremy Joseph Ahern.
Names of the lives forever stopped on September 11th, 22 years ago, filled the silence.
We love you, we miss you, we can't replace you.
From the World Trade Center in New York to the Pentagon and Shanksville, Pennsylvania, loved ones sharing deeply personal memories.
You are forever our hero and angel.
From a vast web of loss that stretches across America.
You may have been torn from us that day, but your love and memories will never be torn from our hearts.
President Biden returning to the U.S. from Vietnam, stopping at a military base in Alaska, paying tribute to the many soldiers who joined in response to the terror attacks that claimed nearly 3,000 lives and reshaped American foreign policy. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin speaking from the Pentagon.
We will always work to keep America safe, and we will always remember.
In a painstaking process, the remains of 2 more 9/11 victims have now been identified, but more than 1,000 families still wait, speaking the names of those they lost.
Love you, Phil. Talk to you later.
To ensure they never fade away. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
The story of loss is ongoing. The Uniformed Firefighters Association says that nearly as many New York City firefighters have died from post-9/11 illness as the 343 who died in the attacks in 2001. Perhaps the most awe-inspiring tributes happen today in Twin Falls, and it starts at 5 p.m. local time this evening at the Twin Falls Visitor Center by the Perrine Bridge. There will be an Air Force flyover, 21-gun salute, Armed Forces display and band, and of course, the massive American flag will be hung from the bridge there. Idaho's Secretary of State is helping AmeriCorps alumni with service project at elementary schools by collecting donations for community schools at the Department of Labor office on Main Street in Boise. Of course, right now we are looking at images from 9/11, and Mission 43 is hosting the 9/11 Miles of Remembrance Run that starts at 5 p.m. in Ann Morrison Park with events for the entire family. What many people don't know is that we have an Idaho World Trade Center 9/11 memorial right here in the city of Boise. It's a place that you can go to remember and honor those we lost. Our Maggie O'Mara tells us all about it in this week's 7-0.
For Nampa Fire Captain Dave O'Connor, September 11th, 2001 feels like yesterday.
I remember when 9/11 happened, I was coming into work and my phone at the time was blowing up. But instantly we all went and sat in front of the TV at the time. I was born and raised on the East Coast. I had a very close friend that worked for Rescue 3 that was killed that day. So very, very personal.
O'Connor was one of 3 firefighters instrumental in bringing a piece of the World Trade Center to Boise.
We wanted to have something here that getting the pieces here was very important because of the close-knit and personal impact that day had on everybody.
The firefighters worked with the Boise Art Commission to turn that piece of history into this work of art. Artist Amber Klinsky was commissioned to create a spectacular memorial at what is now Idaho Fallen Firefighters Memorial Park. The artwork incorporates a 10-foot beam from the World Trade Center.
The memorial was put in and dedicated on September 11th, 2012, 11 years after the tragic events of 9/11. I think it's really important for people to come here and to see this, and also to recognize that that actually is a piece of the World Trade Center. This is really a space that people can come to and remember. The panel is really special. It has 343 names of the fallen first responders from 9/11. So as people walk through and read those names, I think it's important to remember the families and the sacrifices of those individuals.
Boise Parks and Recreation Director Doug Holloway says this park on Shoreline Drive, just off the Greenbelt, is a special place that many don't know about.
This was actually a perfect location to put it. Having the fallen firefighters memorial here, it just made sense that the memorial from the World Trade Center would be here. It's a great place to come and reflect.
Seeing Idaho Fallen Firefighters Memorial Park come to life over the years is really special for Dave O'Connor, since he's been there from the very beginning.
It seems like just yesterday, at that time, it really, really brought us together. And it was a life-changing event, and it's awful that it happened, but the outcome that came from that, it brought us closer together as a community and unified us.
To all the people who made the Idaho World Trade Center Memorial happen, you are Seven's heroes.
And if you'd like to visit this evening, the memorial again can be found at the Idaho Fallen Firefighters Memorial Park. That's at 1791 West Shoreline Drive, just off of the Boise Greenbelt.